I understand what he's saying because you can't keep winning in all these other categories except for best album.
Let's talk about Jay, Mr. Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, aka the GOAT on some lists.
More Grammy
not
talk.
Loans. Yeah, more Grammy talk because y'all saw did you see his speech for the Dr. Dre? What is it? Dr. Dre
Lifetime Achievement.
Something,
Global Ambassador Award or something like that.
Something they just made up.
Yeah.
I think this is like the second year of that award.
Yeah, it's
so it is.
And shout out to D Barnes.
I guess
Yeah, she was mad because they named her award after Dr. Dre.
Hey, it is what it is, baby. I mean, the thing is, D Barnes, we love you.
Yeah.
But you got to, but at a certain point, because the thing is, like, I remember this whole thing with Dr. Dre and D Barnes very vividly because I remember he had to pay her a bunch of money. I remember seeing the PSA about, not beating women on, and Dr. Dre was in it. And
wasn't he on like house arrest during a MTV, whatever that show was?
Yo MTV Raps.
Yo MTV Raps. Yeah, he was like on house arrest.
And then I remember also in the Defiant ones, like he talked about this and had her on a documentary about it. Like he could have just said, no, he could have dismissed that.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to right his wrongs.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there are a lot of people who still want to.
But those wrongs help him write the songs.
Hey.
I see you.
And I understand why, there are so many women who are just upset. But it's like, are we still going to define people by what they did 30 years ago?
I know they still don't like Chris Brown.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, are you only your mistakes?
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I understand. Shout out to D Barnes. Once again, I loved you on Pump It Up. And I wish there were more opportunities out here for you. I loved you in the group Body and Soul. Dance to the Drummer's Beat was a favorite record of mine. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about what Jay-Z said.
Man, did you guys see his, I done forgot what we talking about D Barnes. Did you guys see the acceptance speech? Everybody saw it?
No, I saw it. I saw it live. I just happened to have it on when I was cleaning up, my establishment.
Is this acceptance speech as potent as it came off to me, or is this just more of the same? Because what you'll hear is everybody talks about the Grammys and against the Grammys, and we're boycotting the Grammys, and they don't get it right, but everybody still goes to the Grammys.
I mean, he spoke about that while he was getting the award. He spoke about when he boycotted the Grammys and still watched it, and
used the comparison about Will Smith and talked about his year and still watching it, and then the boycott. And one of the things that he said about Beyonce was the fact that she has the most Grammys and never won, I believe, Album of the Year.
You better get up there and take up for your wife.
Yeah, you got to take up for your wife. So, shout out to that. But the part where he talked about the people that didn't necessarily deserve to be in the categories, and he laughed and was saying,
Macklemore.
Yeah. Thank you. And he said, when I'm honest, well, how did he word it? He said,
when I'm nervous,
when I get nervous,
I start telling the truth.
I start telling the truth. I thought it was potent that he would get up there and give him those bars, but I feel like he's done this through actions before, maybe. I don't know. Because
it just goes to the whole point that
he has some good points.
They still aren't getting it right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
That's the whole point
of the conversation. He showed up with his wife, with his child.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 30 some odd years later, 30, 40 years later. And it's still not right. I mean, he talked about Will Smith's not being televised.
Mm-hmm.
And on this same evening, like we just talked about, Killer Mike's wasn't televised.
Yep.
So it's kind of one of those things where the Grammys are still held by people that are old and out of touch. So the next generation still haven't taken the torch or the reins, or even if they have, it's still like by design that everybody that feels like they're supposed to get the award or not going to get the award because it's not the popular thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, man. I felt what Jay-Z said. Of course, he's going to take up for his wife, but when you look at the Grammys Beyonce has won, it's almost like they have a segregated Grammys. Like she's won all the R&B categories.
Mm-hmm.
They had the best dance category. And as soon as I saw her win that last year, I was like, well, she's not going to win Album of the Year.
Who won last year?
I don't know. Probably Taylor Swift. I just feel like she wins.
I don't think she had an album last year.
Adele. I don't know. Like Billie Eilish. There's a rotating
somebody like that.
Group of people.
John Baptiste. Didn't he win 2022?
That boy is cold though. He's cold.
I think so. I think
boy's
so.
cold.
Probably Billie Eilish.
But because
Harry
like
Styles.
I remember seeing, when Taylor Swift went up, got one of her awards, and she said new album out at April 19th. I was like, y'all might not even come to the Grammys next year because it's going to win. And the thing is,
Did she say she got a new album coming out?
Yeah, she told you the date. She released the artwork and the track list. Like,
have it.
Did Taylor win this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a foregone conclusion.
And the thing is, I'm one of those people who just didn't get like Taylor off this past album. I remember one of my favorite songs of last year was Purple Haze. That's the one Soundwave did.
Yeah, he was up there getting that award.
Yeah,
too.
so he got himself a Grammy too. So shout out to him. But it's just also a thing where it's like, okay, I get it, but like, she's got more record or album of the year, whatever it is, than like Prince and Stevie Wonder. You're like, is this really what we doing right now?
That's what we doing.
And like I said, I'm not one of the Taylor Swift haters. I'm not one of those people. I acknowledge she's a good songwriter. She's a good musician.
She's got a good team around her as well.
That's part of it. But I cannot be one of those people that just hates on her music because that's not fair. But sometimes say that this is the best music that's available, it's hard because I'm like, even the other people in the category who I'm not super big fans of, I'm like, well, that probably deserved to win. What did he say about you shouldn't even be in the category? Like, I think he was talking specifically about hip hop because when you look at who's been nominated over the past 30 years, it's a bunch of people that had no business being nominated. Some of those people who had no business nominated, they won.
True.
Once again, I was one of those people that enjoy the Invasion of Privacy Cardi B album. That shouldn't have been that should not have won.
Well, even this year, the 21 Savage and Drake probably shouldn't have been nominated.
Yeah.
I know some people really liked the King's Disease 3, but was that even Nas's strongest King's Disease?
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
You know what I mean?
No.
No, it wasn't.
And it definitely wasn't Michael.
They're not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
So, I guess Travis Scott's was up there. I listened to a couple tracks, but I couldn't get into it.
No, that's
It wasn't
cap.
Astroworld.
That's cap. Yeah, that
I give it to him at the year Astroworld came out. I don't know what other albums were nominated.
Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
That's all you need to say.
That's all you need to say.
Never mind.
So he shouldn't have won that either. So the people are like, oh, he's been snubbed twice. No, he
That's not
hasn't.
really a snub.
He lost twice to two better albums.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him.
Or
But-
or he to the Cardi of some. I don't even say it was Cardi's was more popular. It did have Bodak Yellow on it, so maybe it was. But I'm just saying.
I just wanted a woman to win.
Well,
Which when you're right.
I'm sorry.
that could be true though.
You know,
It could, because I can't honestly say that hers was more popular than Travis Scott's, because Travis Scott, his shows are crazy.
True.
But
I'm gonna give him that. He has his own Jordans and stuff.
Astro World was
Happy Meals. Yeah,
Was
he's got
big.
all
Astro World was big.
yeah, but at the same time, like again, we're talking about the popularity. We're not talking about
the artistic
the
value.
artistic value.
It
of
was
the
a good
music.
album though. That was a
No,
good
but
album.
like when you're,
But it wasn't Nipsey Hussle good.
No, that's flawless almost. There's only like one record on there that I still like that I may skip.
That's saying a lot.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
front to back. So
That's saying
But
a
shoot,
lot.
that same year, that was a year not. I keep wanting to say Isaiah Rashad. Other TDE artist, he's the one that won.
J-Rock?
J-Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Rock won that year.
he won a Grammy for best hip hop album.
He won a Grammy for something that year.
Song. It was a
I think
song.
I think it was a record. I don't think it was-
Win.
Yeah, I think he won for that.
Yeah.
Somebody will look it up and tell us we're wrong if we're wrong.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like Jay coming out and saying this, but it's unfortunate that he has to say it.
Look,
No,
he said
When
that.
I say unfortunate, I mean that the same trends are still happening X amount of years later is what I mean.
It's like the whole beating a dead horse thing.
That's what you're right, exactly.
And it's the same. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, when Kanye said it, everybody was upset. And now that since Jay is saying it, it's not the same thing. It's all about context and
delivery.
Thank
So
you.
like Jay was literally accepting an award for himself
Yep.
and used his platform to address it in the way that he deemed fit.
Yeah.
Kanye, he was telling the truth as well, but he got up there during someone else's acceptance speech and took the mic and said what he had to say.
Yeah.
Gave him a shrug and got off the stage. And it wasn't the Grammys. That was an MTV award.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
But-
honestly, that's probably the best thing that happened to Taylor Swift's career because I had no idea who she was before then.
yeah.
And when I tell you it turned her into the sympathetic princess vibe across the country, bro, when Kanye did that, changed everything. Everything
now,
tilted.
You got to think too. I mean, Taylor Swift's got this big public relationship with Travis Kelce and the NFL. Like, of course she's going to win this year. You know, I don't even know what she was up against.
I don't either.
And I don't really care. To be honest, from a personal standpoint, if she was supposed to win because she had the best album, cool.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Cool. You know
I
what I
can
mean?
see that. But I don't think, honestly, I don't think Jay was talking to Taylor Swift.
I don't
No,
either.
no.
I think he was talking about in general, because it kind of goes back to, I want to say, Urban, I'm going to put that in quotations.
Yeah.
Album has not won Album of the Year since Speaker Box Love Below.
Yep.
And before that was Lauryn Hill.
And I think
And that was 25 years ago.
True.
So in context, with all of these people from then on, you know, getting the best songs here and there, but never getting best album, I understand what he's saying, because you can't keep winning in all these other categories except for best album. If these other artists aren't winning in those categories, but then when the best album comes up, now you're winning.
I almost feel like after Thriller, where Mike just won everything, they're like, yeah, we're not going to do this again. Even though, like, till this day, that's the highest rated Grammys of all time.
Yeah.
But that's when they actually let people accept awards on stage, and they didn't have. I mean, now it's so performance laden. It really isn't an award show. It's a small concert.
So, Terry, to I guess kind of jump back into what you just said about the nominations versus record of the year or album of the year. Could it be possible that you could sweep a lot of these categories but still not have the best? Is that far fetched to be able to say we killing all the rest of these, you know, subcategories and I'm getting awards here, but maybe my album didn't stand up to the rest of the albums that were put out that year?
That doesn't make sense, though. If you're nominated for 6 awards, you win 5 of those awards, and the last award being Album of the Year, which these other artists were nominated for as well.
Right.
They don't win any of those, but they win
Album of the Year.
Album of the Year.
It just sounds like they're spreading around the love to some degree.
But remember the year where
I feel you.
Eminem's second was the Marshall Mathers LP? It won every award but Album of the Year, and they gave it to Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Who I didn't remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Who
That
I was
doesn't
like,
make sense.
I didn't even know put out an album that year.
Just like Look, at the end of the day, the Grammys are who we thought they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouts to Dennis Green.
Yeah.
Well said.
And you know, Jay-Z went up there, did what he did. I thought what he said was cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was straight. I think it was honest. And then he walked off and he had a shot in his Grammy, and then him and the entire family dipped.
Yeah.
So,
They did.
Because, you know, there's part of me that's like, okay, well,
I thought
this
all
is
that
the
was
last
dope.
time we're coming to this, so let's just go ahead and get it off now.
I thought him drinking out of the. I loved all
That
that
ain't
part.
the first time he done it.
So ain't. It's not.
I'm about to use that as a promo for
Yeah,
my
like
organization.
that was the pettiest way to be like, all right, we out.
I mean, he used to call them sippy cups.
He did.
Yeah.
Blue got a sippy cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then he stunned it by saying, well, she has her own sippy cups now.
yeah. So cool moment, but you know, will it change anything? No.
Nah, I don't know.
No.
We'll see.
I don't see anything, you know, consistently changing or something groundbreaking happening where
If Beck drop an album, then he's getting Album of the Year.